everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to this channel of weekly reflections about what it means to be spiritual beings having a physical experience, wherein we usually relate a Bible reading to what's happening in the world today. So let us begin. It's springtime here where I live. The summer cars are starting to come out, and 16-year-old high school students are dreaming of getting their driver's license. So today I've been thinking about my very first driver's lesson. My instructor, Mr. Theodore, was my high school French teacher, whom I happened to be petrified of. We were 4 eager students who set off that day, nevertheless. We each took our turn at the wheel of the teacher's car, navigating the streets around Summit Circle in Upper Westmount. Our instructions were pretty simple. What I remember most was be sure to make nice smooth turns around each corner and stay clear of those pricey cars parked along the sidewalk. Well, I managed to succeed in that second task, but had a bit more trouble with the first. This then caused surprise shouting on the part of Mr. Theodore. Anyone would really, if their car kept being driven up and over corner curbs. Of course, that then led to embarrassed tears on my part and even stronger gripping of the steering wheel as the next corner came in sight. I tended to keep my eyes on my steering wheel and on that point on the hood of the car where the asphalt just comes into view. No, cried the teacher. Look ahead. Look where you're going, not at the car that's getting you there. Well, I'm happy to say that I finally mastered that skill. And Mr. Theodore and his car were pretty happy too. Not looking far enough ahead, focusing on the messenger rather than the message, or as the Buddhists say, looking at the finger that points to the moon, but being blind to the moon itself, is a trap we all fall into. In today's scripture passage, Jesus is famously quoted as saying, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. We see this quote from the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 6, plastered on billboards and license plates and car bumpers. And forgive me for saying this, but I do believe it is one of the most striking examples of placing our focus on the finger instead of the moon. It has caused untold hardship, discrimination, exclusion, and persecution, all in the name of a religion that purports to support the image of an all-loving, all-powerful, supreme being. If you don't have the same beliefs as I do, if you don't have the same understanding of who Jesus is, and heaven help you, if you are not Christian, well, you are simply beyond redemption. This is the interpretation that this quote has been given so many times. So let us first of all remember that Jesus never set out to form a new religion. He was a devout Jewish rabbi. He was looking for a way to rejuvenate his faith, and only incidentally came in contact with those outside his own. He lived a life of humility, of generosity, and compassion. He died keeping those principles intact. And he showed us the way to live a holy life, a life in sync with all creation. The key word here is way. He showed us the way. He was the finger pointing to the moon. Now, the Gospel of John was written some 70 years after the death of Jesus, written to bolster the courage and strength of the struggling and persecuted Jewish Christian community that had been recently excluded from the synagogue. At the time, it was common practice to refer to Caesar Augustus, the emperor, as no less than the Son of God. When we hear these words of Jesus today, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. What we are really hearing is the gospel writer's protest that Caesar was no son of God. How much more does Jesus deserve this title? The way of Jesus, the way towards an upright and holy life, is the way of self-sacrifice and compassion. In my opinion, all those who strive to follow this path, whether they be Christian or Muslim or Hindu or any other faith, are worthy of the title of son or daughter of God. In our world, we hear many voices, those whose fears for the collapse of the economy have them placing human lives in danger, those who decry the loss of their civil liberties because they're asked to stay home, and those who seek to gain personal profit in times of great suffering and at the expense of others. Surely these are the sons and daughters of creation who have gone astray. And then there are the others, those weary souls who work tirelessly to find a cure for COVID-19, those who strive to heal the sick, those who run errands for the weak and the elderly, those teachers who are right now finding games to teach our children what 6 feet of separation means. There are others who sing to us in virtual choirs on YouTube. They sing of courage and perseverance and hope. There are voices who invite us to pool our resources to combat this common enemy named COVID-19. This past Monday, May 4th, many of the world's leaders came together in what is being named the Coronavirus Global Response in order to pledge billions of dollars for research and development of vaccine and remedial medicine, pledging as well that no country and no individual will be left behind, that aid will come to everyone, and that personal profiteering will be condemned. So you tell me, listen to the voices you hear today. Where do you hear God speaking? Who do you think represents the true sons and daughters of all creation? Amen. Thank you for listening to today's message. If you are interested in supporting this ministry, in becoming a part of any of the acts of service our church is involved in, or in attending one of our Zoom church services, you can contact us via the website that is listed below this video. We are currently focusing on helping our seniors navigate the technology so that they can maintain contact with their loved ones, as well as maintaining an outdoor self-serve food bank. So until we meet again, blessings on the journey.